Hello there, only one Kenobi here, only one, and you are looking at the Star Wars toy guide, the Kenner toy guide by Red 5 Designs. I'm going to use this now for reference, ladies and gentlemen. So what I did was, a while ago, I had a video out there that I called the best of the 96. And so what I did in that video was I went looking for the first 12, which are just infinitely famous, aren't they? The first 12 characters. But I went to find the best examples that we have, or I have, in my collection of the first 12 characters. So the most up-to-date, best, screen accurate, whatever you want to say, examples of each of those characters. So we obviously had Chewie, Han, Leia, all those people. And I went to go and find, like figures like that, for example. Just can't get better than that Stormtrooper. So that's that. Go check that video out. Then I thought, what a shame for it to end there, because there's other great figures, like you've got Greedo, you've got the TIE Fighter pilot, whoever. And I thought to myself, do you know what? I'm going to keep it going and I'm going to do more. So this video is called the best of the next 12. So we will be looking at specifically 13 to 24, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to find the best figures that I have in my collection for those characters. And hopefully, I've got so many figures here, I have got the best of the best. And it'd be interesting to look at my own collection and see what I need to get, maybe. Maybe I've got a few gaps, or specifically maybe if there is no other better example, that's when we can say to Hasbro, hey, you need to give us, like obviously people like Farm Boy Luke there, everybody knows we need an ultimate variation of that. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to it. So I thought, I had the idea a while ago and I spoke to a few people about it and they were like, yeah, you got to do that video. It's Daniel Chart actually. And then I haven't done anything about it, but now I'm on it, man. I'm going to do it. Let's continue and look at the whole 96, man. I want to see the best of the best for any figure or character that is in the 96. And to help me, I'm going to look at the Red 5 Designs book. I mean, I'll be honest, I was looking at Wikipedia because they've got lists on there, but you can't beat this. This is exactly what I need. And it's very early on in the book, so you've got all the waves here. And what we have right now is right there. You see Luke number 1, there 2. These are the numbers I need. So we've done already a video, and go and check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. We got as far as number 12, which should be this fella, wasn't it? Death Squad Commander. What I'm going to be looking at now is I'm going to get them off my shelf. I'm going to be looking at 30 and onwards. It starts with Greedo and it should end with... I love this book, by the way. Go check it out. I'll leave a link for their website, Red 5 Designs, if you want to look at that. It ends with the Imperial Stormtrooper Hoth. So I'm going to go and find those characters now, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope... Oh, Gimbal's gone mad. I hope you enjoy this video and subscribe if you are new. I can't wait to find what I find. Let's do it. We got them, ladies and gentlemen, and I am going to go handheld. And in most cases, in every case, I've wanted just to have one figure to show you, but in some cases I need to show you more than one. But firstly, this is Greedo, and this one's actually a custom. It is the best one you can get in the fact that that's the most articulated Greedo we ever got. It's from the Saga Legends line, Vintage Saga collection, I beg your pardon. The Vintage Saga collection. And then this little jacket he's wearing is a replacement for the stupid soft goods one he came with. That's from the original trilogy collection Greedo, and look at that, man. I have a video called Figure Hacks, or a series called Figure Hacks. I've got Daniel Chart to thank for that one, but that is the ultimate looking one. So in a sense, you could say, Hasbro, you haven't given us one that is ultimate yet, but that is ultimate. That fitted jacket with an articulated Greedo. The head's amazing, always has been amazing, but there you are, that's Greedo, number 13. But yeah, again, we've got him in Vintage Saga collection, but one could say, get him in TVC. I kind of see them as being both similar lines anyway. They're kind of a modern interpretation of the classic 80s Kenner line, but still, we'll move on now to Hammerhead, and I love this figure. Brilliant. That's from the, I believe, oh god, I've forgotten the name of the line now. Saga collection? Yeah, the Saga collection. Not the Vintage Saga collection, but the Saga collection of 2006. But look at the weathering on that guy there. I mean, they could dive into this fella and articulate him and everything and make him ripe for TVC. But in the meantime, look at the detail on this guy. I love this figure. A lot of people moan and say, oh, you can't sit him down. I don't care, man. I just want my figures, in most cases, just to look good. And this figure does that with his staff there. Love it. I got this one at, I think it was Echo Base Live in 2021. And comes with the blue milk as well, whatever you want to, whatever he's drinking there. That's a great figure. Love that. That's my best anyway. Certainly better than other versions. Bear with me. I don't even know why I'm digressing here. Sorry, I promised I wouldn't digress, but let me give you another example of a modern Hammerhead. Hands down, that figure hisses on that one. Let's talk about Snaggletooth. Now, this is complicated, but let's break it down as best we can. This is the best Snaggletooth character that we have, but don't forget that this specifically is Zutton. But that's confusing because a lot of people said that this was Zutton, but no, I've just reacquainted myself with the details, and this is actually Zutmore. And to clarify, although lots of people have said that this is Zutton, even in the Power of the Jedi line, technically that's Zutmore. And who is Zutmore? Well, it's a female. You do see them in the holiday special, right? So if you can classify this as Zutmore, this is then Zutton, and the other one we've got is Tequil. And Tequil is over here, right there, in this cinema scene from the cantina. This is my cantina shelf, by the way, but that's Tequil. That's the brother of this guy, and this is someone completely different. But this was called Zutton many times. In fact, she's even there. Look at that card back, but that's the setup from the holiday special. I think. I hope I'm getting this right. This is my interpretation of everything. But the character is a Snivian. Snaggletooth is, I guess, a nickname, but that is the best interpretation of one of the characters that was in the cantina, and that is Zutton. Specifically speaking, that is Zutton there, and that, look at it, it's just a nice figure. So of all the Snaggletooths you can get, that's the best, and that was TVC. That came out in the special action figure set, but now they put it on its own card. That one, I believe. No, they didn't. No, they updated the card. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and get it now. Bear with me. And there he is. I think he's a he. Bit dusty, that. So, Kenner will argue, or Hasbro will argue, that they've now ticked that 96 box by giving you Zutton on his correct card back. But technically, this is the Snaggletooth box, which is number 15. But what they could do still, if they would, is a different argument altogether. They could also give you a Zidane. I keep wanting to say Zidane. That's a French footballer. Zidane. But no, it's Zutmore. I kept thinking of there was someone called I'm thinking of Vidane. I'm thinking of that skiff guy. This is a Zutmore, and wouldn't it be lovely if they brought that out as well? And do you know what? I'd be happy if they just repacked him. Or her, even. Because that's a great, look at that figure. This goes back to the Power of the Jedi. 2000 to 2001, was it, that line? Look at that. I mean, the head's fantastic. Absolutely smashes that one. But I believe that is the one that was also... Maybe they were on set in the cantina as well. I just don't know. But they were certainly in the holiday special. I know that much. But there you are. So that's such a... I love it talking about these. That's my interpretation. Again, I might be wrong. But I think from what I've seen, that's the three you're dealing with. Zutton, Zutmore, Tequil. And that's it. And then you've got more complicated issues of Blue Snaggletooth, which is just a figure issue. Let's move on from that. Let's talk about, there we go. This is another one. This is number, let's have a look now. Where are we? 16. We're up to number 16, and that is, of course, Walrus Man, aka Ponda Barber. And that was a TVC figure. Brilliant. And it was also reissued in the Black Series. But look at it. And they've got a nice card back to follow now. That card back is obviously being updated. And I could even put that up on screen. I can't be bothered running back to the carded room. I want to get this video done before the light goes. But lovely figure. And that is the latest and best update of that character. Let's move it on to a little bit more of a complicated guy in that he's had so many issues. Pilot Luke. But this is the best. And it's VC bum. Can't remember. Terrible at remembering the names or the numbers of the VC line, but look at that. That's a great Pilot Luke. That it was one of the moments in TVC history, this, when we all collectively breathed a sigh of relief and thought, right, they're finally getting Mark Hamill right. And what I liked most about this figure is that kind of, it's not a mullet, but it's obviously Luke, as in Mark Hamill, the actor, his hair looked a certain way at that part of the film. And I guess it's something to do with maybe him wearing the helmet, crushed his hair back into that kind of like pattern at the back there. But still, this figure totally encapsulates that. That's the best pilot Luke you'll ever find. So get hold of that one. Moving hastily on, I keep looking at the book here to get the numbers right. That's number 17, number 18. Let's turn the page, ladies and gentlemen. We should now be looking at R5D4. And here it is. This is my latest R5D4, which I got from Tungori. It's not very weathered, this one, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with the new Mandalorian one, because I'm sure they will brush that and weather it. I hope they will. You can't beat the sculpt of it. It's brilliant. It looks like the figure did, or the character droid did back then, but this one also does this. I'm doing this one-handed, hang on. That's what the new one will do as well. To go with the M1 Starfighter, you can remove his head. Brilliant. Check out Tungori. He may still have more, or she, for sale. Let's have a look at number 19. It is the, what do you call it now? Death Star droid? Is it the RA7 droid? From memory, I'm doing that, but I think it is. But anyway, Death Star droid was that classic there. That's on the Return of the Jedi card, but that's a great figure. And I've got a few different ones of this now. I've got one I've customized and painted him with shiny silver ink. You can check that video out if you want to look it up. But that's the most recent one they gave us, which kind of works well. The figure did, or the character did appear in The Mandalorian as well. But that's a good one. It's got articulation. It's got a nice touch, nice finish. That not as shiny as my custom, but I'm happy with that. It looks good. Best one to date. It's still the same figure they've had for a long time now, but I think in terms of articulation, it does all it needs to do. Moving on to the Gonk droid. This is one of the situations now where I want to show you two figures, because the power droid, this one here, that's a great figure. It has accessories as well. Apparently you can open his lid. I never showed people that in my first review of it. Look at that. Brilliant. But there's a situation. I love it. The kind of history, the situation, the difference between what the character is and what you saw on the card back. So again, if we go back to historically, there is the droid. You can see he's kind of a bluey colour, the figure. And they're trying to make it look like the droid that's stomping around the Lars homestead, as opposed to this guy, which is clearly a sandcrawler character. That's why I'm showing you two here. This is the best example I've got of what you're seeing on the card back. This is what I consider the Gonk droid, which is the guy on the sandcrawler. And this is from the Power of the Force 2 that came with the Jawa. It's a great one. Look at it. That just says to me that him. But this guy is another character, and this is brilliant. This one here, this update that they've done to the original 80s is spot on. It's kind of quirky. It's quite Doctor Who-y, this droid. And you see him on the Lars homestead. I'll have to pull up an image for you to show you that, but it's kind of out of focus in the distance or something in the background or whatever. But that's that. So that's the best you'll find of that character, and that's the best you'll find of what you see on the card back of the original. So there you go. There's 2 in 1. Moving on. What have we got next? I think it's number 20. That was 20. This is 21. Boba Fett. Loads of good Boba Fetts we've had. Even the one from the Book of Boba Fett is good. The one with the black skirt thing. But this is visually still the best one we've got. Although I've got my love-hate thing with this figure, because he topples over a lot. The backpack and all that. But I've actually got him standing all right now. The peg holes are deep enough, but it is a great looking Boba Fett. It doesn't have that yet. They could still give you one like that, but this is VC Bubba Bum. Can't remember. But what I loved about this as well, it was the blue sky variant as well, as in they gave us the blue sky card, which I've been praying for. But when that Fett did come out, it was like, visually stunning and all that. Should just keep it simple and just show you this one, but that is it. That's the best of that type, I believe. Okay, that does it for that. What have we got now? We've got number 22. That's Leia. I can't show you just one here. I've got to show you. I mean, this one came from Tungori. The pattern was missing from the dress, but the face is awful. Did I hear a whisper that they were going to reissue this? Leia. So you've got 2 cardback variants. You've got that one, and you've got that one. I bet you any money if Kenner or Hasbro bring out this figure again, VC, put it on the screen, then they won't give you an alternative card back. It's sad, isn't it? They should and could do that, but they won't. Ugh. Anyway, I want to just show you this one. This is from the original trilogy collection of 2004, would you believe it? I mean, I know it's not fantastic, but it's just petite. I still love that as my favourite, my personal favourite for Bespin Gown Leia, would you believe it? This one could and should be spectacular, but it's not. I just do not see Carrie Fisher in that face, unfortunately. But in terms of articulation, that is the best. But I don't know, they could do with doing something with it. And then we have number 23, is that right? That's 22. This is 23. I just wanted to show you where he fits nicely. This is, of course, FX7. But he does fit on very nicely, as he should do, because he's part of that whole thing in the medical bay. He fits on, sorry, I'm just trying to sort out him. He fits on with this Lucan Best, then he said Beskar, what's it called now? Bacta. So I'll take him off that. Boom, he fits on there like a glove. But this is a great droid. This is the one, I think I got this from, is it Power of the Jedi? And I do believe that they brought him out in TVC in the special action figure set, but he's not come out yet on his own card back, which would be this card back. And the day that happens will be fantastic. I'd love to see that. Obviously not on that one. Hopefully it will be, yeah, Empire Strikes Back. That is FX7, and that's the best to date. I think it's the same mold, sculpt, whatever you want to call it, that's been going around forever. I doubt the TVC one in the special action figure set is any different from this one, but obviously look at all that articulation, or whatever you want to call it, all these things that I can't quite get with one hand. I'm one-handed here at the minute, ladies and gentlemen. But so you can have a lot of fun with that. Can the head turn? Anyway, well, that's the best. That's it. That's what you need, and maybe they will bring it out and give it some wash weathering, whatever you want to call it. And finally, this guy is still the best, in my opinion, for the Snowtrooper, formerly known as, or officially known as, Stormtrooper Hoth, because they're all Stormtroopers at the end of the day. They're all Stormtroopers, but they have different attire for different terrains. But this one is great. You can do that, but not that you want to, because nobody did that in the Empire Strikes Back. But is he supposed to be a clone, this guy? But anyway, there he is. That's the guy. But still, let's just forget about him being underneath. Make them faceless enemies. That is brilliant, this figure. I love it. The weathering has always kicked ass. This goes back to 2006 or 7. This vintage Saga collection. He's come out in other areas. I think one of my 2 figures that I have loose, I bought in the vintage Saga. I'm talking nonsense now. I'm getting mixed up. In the Saga Legends line, which is the one that was the packaging like this. Same type of packaging as that, except it was navy blue and orange. Brilliant line of figures for reissues of stuff. And it kind of got me into what you see here. It got me into 3 3/4 inch collecting again. Walked into Tesco's one day and I saw this amazing figure. I was like, whoa. They just looked amazing. All this weathering, all this detail. Look at his feet there. Fantastic. You've got the soft goods and everything. I just thought, my God, it's brilliant. But yeah, they could still do him in TVC, dare I say. But to be honest, this is so good that that's all you really need. At least you can bend the elbows. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. That's quite a lot of information now. I might have to edit that down. That is the next 12, ladies and gentlemen. That is the best I can find in my collection of numbers 13 to 24 of the original Kenner 96 in the modern... Oh, for God's sake. Excuse me a minute. Take 2, action. Right, I'm back again. Yeah, so that's the best I can find of the next 12, should we call them. And then I'm going to do another 12 after this, which we're going to call the next 12, which will be, what will it be, 24 to 36, isn't it? And I look forward to doing that, going through them, finding the best of the original line. And then we can see what the gaps are, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, things like that, you see, I've got issues with that. I'm not happy with that figure at all. This is just interesting. That's a great figure. It's got a story behind it. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed that video, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to leave it there because I've waffled on long enough. This has been Only One Kenobi. Only one. Out.